Good morning, traders. Hope you're having a blessed morning. Bob Smith, AC, Bob Peterson, Michael, Dusty, Pat, who loves Lunatic, Ford, Flo, Rick Shelton, JC, Bill VW, Dennis, Sandra, Chad, Picker, Ford, Dusty, Tamimi, Roth, Mr. Rodriguez, Heather, Francisco, David Knight, and everyone who has not said anything in the chat, good morning to you, and to those over on Discord, good morning to you as well. Jeff, Dan, hope you guys are watching. SGB was yesterday's outperformer, also after hours outperformer, and looking good this morning. Maybe this is another one that's going to rock it. We'll see. It's looking pretty good. It's running in a channel right now. Hopefully it'll be a winner on a Friday. We could sure use one of those. Good morning, Fire Medic Dave, Broke Joe. Maybe this is that dollar gainer. Let's see. Hopefully we get blessed with it. Problem is we don't know how much more it has in it, but I think there's going to be some excitement on it this morning. Everybody needs to make a little bit of money. The buyers might be on it again. And no halt in pre-market. Let's see what happens here. Good morning, Jeff. Good morning comes to mind. Hope everyone makes it in here in time. They could miss out. Just be careful if you trade this stock. It could change direction at any moment. It could be at an oversold point. We really don't know yet. Good morning, Installer Pro, MY. Good morning, Ben. Gordon. Got about a minute to go. Be careful on this trade if you take it. I've already marked out resistance and support levels. I may not wait on a pullback. I may play the breakout, depends on how it looks. Use your better judgment on it. Don't follow my guidelines. The typical trade would be a pullback after the run-up, but there may be a good initial run-up here right at the start. It does have some monster swings. That's why I'm warning about it. It may be at a high. I am looking at multiple charts. It does look like it may go either direction. So don't get your hopes too high. Looks like they're selling it off before our market opens. And here we go. Let's see. I'm going to zoom in on it a little bit for you. Got some profit takers like currently on it. See if we can drive it up here. Not very many buyers coming in on it. Trying to break through 833. We may get it here. Still need some buyers to come in. Patiently waiting. I am in it. I'm down about 200 so far. I'm hanging on. Yeah, there's not much volume at all. Doesn't look like the buyers are going to come in. I'm going to go ahead and bail on it. I'm going to take my $280 loss. I gave it a shot. It'll probably go up now, so y'all get ready. See there? Told you. I am watching a tick chart. Tick chart's currently down. Actually, it's kind of floating along. The volume did not come in. That's what happens to you when you gamble, so don't do what I do. had already had plans to take a shot at it just in case. It was worth it to me. Wasn't worth the loss, but it was worth the try. Good morning, Gigi, Michael Chapman, Frank M. Good morning, Island Man, Skits. I've always told myself don't trade on Fridays, and I went against my own rules. But sometimes you gotta take a chance. Good morning, Randy P. If you're new here, we're watching this column right here for volume spikes. Not very many this morning. This indicator watches the volume for you. If it's buyers or sellers, it lets you know. We watch these percentages, and if it starts gaining, that means the buyers are coming in. This morning, they're showing red. Of course, that's typical for Friday. This indicator over here is watching the stock market. It's looking back 30 minutes to let you know anything that's moving, and these are the stocks that are moving in pre-market. Once we see one spiking over here, we immediately go to this current volume bar, which is this bar, and we see that there's enough stocks, enough buyers and sellers coming in for us to get in and out safely. We watch for this crossover and these spike arrows to come in. Once we start seeing this crossover and these spike arrows, we make our decision to buy or not. I like playing a pullback strategy, and many of you here do as well. And we wait for a stock to take off, then we wait for it to pull back to the next support level, and then we enter. That's been paying off for us for the last 3 or 4 months. We very seldom miss one, but it does happen on occasion. So as we drink our coffee this morning, we're watching this column here for spikes, seeing which ones are taking off. Dan, that is exactly right. That's why I usually have a rule, don't trade on Fridays. But it's been such a bad week, I had to take a shot at it. I should have waited on a pullback and I wouldn't be negative that 280. But that's fine. Won't be the first time I took a loss. SGBX taking off here. It's a cheaper stock, a dollar stock. I will mark the resistance and support levels to see if we get a pullback. SGD did continue to fall. I'm glad I exited. This could be our pullback here. I'd like to see it pull back about half of that candle. The whole candle would be nice as well. This red candle needs to close before I mark the lower level. All right, that candle did close. Let's see what happens here. Either going to bounce back up and break through, or it's going to go down. We'll be waiting on volume spikes to kick in up here if it's going to go up. Looks like it's going to continue down. It's doing a Friday trade, that's for sure. No chance whatsoever on that one. Enjoy the coffee while we wait on the next one. I see WLGS here popping up. Another penny stock mover. Not so good a volume. SGBX trying to recover now. Running into resistance at $1.03. Nothing yet this morning. Another cheaper stock moving here. We need something more than pennies to end this week in the green. About a 10-cent candle there on this penny stock. Nice run up for this penny stock, WLGS. It's up about 25 cents. Still running, looking strong. The volume is coming in. The buyers are coming in. The stock was moving yesterday a little bit. I think it was this one. Let me scroll back here and see. Nope, it wasn't this one. My bad, I said it wrong. I'll explain the pullback to you in just a minute. I'm waiting to see if a pullback sets up here, and I'll show you what I'm doing. You'll find this pullback in all of the recorded live streams. So once a stock reaches the top like this, and I see a candle pulling back, I will mark the high of the body. If it pulls back. It's currently not pulling back. All right, we are pulling back, so I'm going to mark the high of this body, and I'm going to wait for it to pull back. I like to see it pull back at least half of this candle, but I wait on this candle to close, this red candle. I don't know how well this is going to perform on a penny stock. This is why I don't trade them. Okay, that candle closed. There would be your support zone. Now, if more buyers come in, it should bounce from this line to this one and maybe possibly break through. If it fails, it will continue to go down. So you wouldn't enter here until you see a green candle and you're watching this volume, you're watching for buyers to come in to drive it up. Good morning, Rodrigo. So this one's going to fail as well. But that's how you do a pullback, is you mark the high. You wait on this red candle, mark the high of the previous candle. When this candle closes, you mark the low. And usually we get a pullback up. Rodrigo, do you have EXT checked? Right click on the name, edit formula, make sure this box is checked. Right here you have to have extended hours selected. Then I've got them sorted by Momo. You click on the name till they all come to the top. Good morning, Malik. You are welcome. Broke Joe, they both perform the same way. One's just a longer time frame. If I'm understanding you wrong, we can discuss it later and I'll walk you through it one-on-one. I'll have to take a look at which scans you're actually talking about. I have multiple scans on Discord. SGD is down about $2 from market open. Nothing in the spike column. This is a typical Friday. They're usually slow. Profit takers are going back to cash before the end of the day. Broke Joe, can you tell me what number those scans are on Discord? While we're slow, I'll take a look at them. Good morning, Hollywood. Seven and 8. I don't have them loaded on my system, so I'll have to load them later and see what they are. They may be older scans. Without looking at the code, I don't know what I've done there yet. So I'll load them later and get back to you, Broke Joe. I'll send you a DM on them. We're in the silent spot. Nothing really going on. So if you're new here, I am Ricky Gaspard. I'm a guy who trades from his home office. I've been trading since 1990. I'm also a ThinkScript coder, and I write my own scripts for my own indicators, and I give them out for free. I hold these live sessions to teach you how to use them. This was one of my best creations here was the volume spike. I was able to break the volume down as far as buyers and sellers and throw a percentage up here on your watch list to let you know which ones were moving up or down. The higher this percentage, the stronger they're moving. Once we see them moving over here, we directly go to this current bar volume to make sure there's enough buyers and sellers coming in to drive the price up, and so that we can get in and out safely. Once that is confirmed, you'll see the pullback set up over here. This is the 5 EMA and the 13 EMA. We watch for the crossover of those two lines. Then we wait for these spike arrows to come in. We also look up here to see if this candle is bullish. Of course, back here, this would be the bullish candle. And down here, we look at the overall volume to see if the volume is more buyers than sellers. So this is the entire volume of this stock. And we like to see the buyers outnumbering the sellers. Down here's a new indicator we will be releasing this Sunday. It's basically a visual indication of what's going on here in the overall market. So currently the sellers are outnumbering the buyers. That's why the price is dropping. The buyers are pretty much non-existent. You can see the green line down here, which is the buyers. So it helps give a visual overall of what this stock is doing. It'll be released about 12 or 2, somewhere in that time zone on Sunday, depending on when I get back from church and dinner or lunch. And I'll get it out there for you. If you haven't joined our YouTube channel, please subscribe. Watch the videos on YouTube. There's a link in the description. Like the videos, comment on the videos, let YouTube know what kind of a job I'm doing. It also lets me know what kind of a job I'm doing. In the description of every video is a link to our Discord. Join our Discord, accept the disclaimer, or you won't see any channels. Here's a link to our Discord, but make sure you subscribe to YouTube as well. That's where I make a few pennies. Once you're in Discord, accept the disclaimer, the channels will pop in. If you don't know how to load these kind of indicators and scans and labels, watch our how-to videos, number 8. It'll walk you through it. If you still have trouble, leave me a message in support. If I can't get to you, somebody will. You'll find these files over in Current Setup. There's steps 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you'll get all of this above here in step 1. You'll get this label in step 2 and these 2 indicators in step 3 and 4. Also visit our trading channels. We have the trading floor with Gregster and River Place Dad doing their due diligence on stocks, and they post stocks throughout the day when they find some good ones. It's a good thing to check in with them. Watch the stocks they post. You may want to post one of your own. Also visit our options trader where it's me, Bob. He's about the king of options over there. He can teach you a thing or two. He often holds a live stream when he has enough participants to get a little bit deeper into options if you're interested. Never trade off of my screen. It is sometimes pretty much delayed. I don't want you to lose any money. And I thank you for joining us this morning as we wait for another stock pick to pop up for Friday. Fridays aren't so good. They haven't been so good for a long time. But occasionally we get a good runner, and that's what we're waiting on this morning. Good morning, John. Good morning, Rad Dad and Diet Soda. I am doing just fine. Thank you for asking. Hardly any volume on ABVC. WLGS, it pulled back. We watched it earlier. Probably not going to go anywhere. You didn't offend me, Andy. I know there wasn't no music playing because I get tired of the silence. Only thing I have playing over here is the fan in my laptop going pshh. That's all I hear. That video is disputed. We'll see where it goes. I'm sure I'll win the battle because there's absolutely no music playing. Maybe it's just their way of slowing me down. They did kind of give me a warning when I first started that YouTube channel because they never had a new channel have that many views in such a short time. They thought I was actually buying hits, and I wasn't. So it actually started off wrong right from the start with the YouTube, but we got through it. Picker, I do not. On pre-market, the stocks usually don't have any volume unless they put out some kind of news or unless the buyers are coming in because they predict maybe better news in the future. There's no telling how they come in. But usually there's no volume on pre-market until news or some kind of event happens that drives the price up. So as far as a number, there is no number. There is numbers where we like to see this one flying, like really kicking, and the buyers coming in before we get in. So from zero volume to lots of volume is what we like to see. During market open, that volume becomes a little bit harder to predict. That's why we have these other indicators and this new one coming out. This one's going to help you out after market open. It's going to let you know if the sellers outnumber the buyers or not. Gives you a visual picture overall of what's happening in the stock. You are welcome. So if you're new here and you load these indicators, come here each morning and you'll watch me describe how they work, what I'm doing, what you should be doing, how to draw these support and resistance lines. There's a video on this and how-to videos. It's going to be one of the last ones. I think it's 10 or 11, somewhere down in there. It'll teach you how to get these on your mouse so that you can draw them right along with me as I draw them. Once you do this several times, you start catching on to what's happening. The more of these live streams you attend, the more you catch on. So it's very important you come here and learn with us every morning until you get it. Then you can put me in the background and start making money. We haven't had the best market to trade in, but this system is still working. Thank you very much, Skywalker. That helps us a lot. Really appreciate your contribution. Good morning, Shoki. Definitely a slow morning. All we have to do is wait. We don't have to go searching for stocks. If something starts moving, they will come here. The system finds the stocks for you. We just have to be patient and wait. Not enough volume on FUBO. It's frozen at 10,000. That's why we like to see this number taking off right here. Skits, I've never worked it, so I can't give you instructions there. I don't know what you're seeing. Good morning, P. Skywalker, could you explain to me what happens when you hit that dollar sign so I will know if somebody has questions about it? Like you click the dollar sign and then what do you click on next? Good morning, GMAC. It's a Friday. I can tell by the way the watch list is working. It's not working so well. Actually, the scripts are working really well, but we don't have any stocks to play. Good morning, Imputed. CISS, another penny stock moving. It's been a penny stock week for sure. Let's hope so, Roth. I'm ready for this migration period to be over. I haven't even switched yet. I still got to fight that battle when it happens. Hopefully they don't take me out of commission for a day or two. That would be devastating. So you click the dollar sign and then you set the amount. Let me see what happens when I click it. I've never even clicked it. Dollar sign, and then I see super sticker and super chat. That's all I see is super sticker and super chat. Is the super sticker, is that the one you click if you're going to donate? The super chat, okay. All right, thank you for that information. Now I know how it works. Well, that's not good, Roth. We shouldn't have to jump around to go see anything. It should just be there. I heard some people talking about when they import one of the shared links that it's not available to the next day. I don't know if it was just a one-time incident or everybody's having that issue. But when you load a shared link, it's not available until the next day. Anyone having that issue? Thank you, Roth. Installer Pros took 3 hours. Maybe they'll get it in order here as soon as possible. NMRD, I'll take a look. Absolutely no volume. I don't know what you see there. WLGS trying to make a recovery here. Probably going to run into resistance there at 95 cents. Thank you guys for those contributions. Greatly appreciated. Helps us keep things rolling here. Any donations go right back into Discord and YouTube. We're trying to upgrade Discord to get the 300 viewers on the live streams. We're currently locked in at 50. We're getting there. As soon as it happens, I'll upgrade it. Skits, I agree. I didn't even know how to use it. Not seeing any numbers changing up here. They're popping in, but the percentages aren't changing, so that's a no-go. That means it's not moving. The list is getting a little bit longer, so it is finding more stocks that are barely moving. ABCM. It's either a buyout or a stock split. Whenever they gap up like that and they just hold, it's usually a buyout offer or a stock split. Good morning, Coach. Roth, this percentage is my rate of change. There's all kind of tools out there for volume. I prefer to stick to mine, and I know multiple indicators give you better decision, but I'm pretty comfortable with what I have here. A lot of the traders, they pair up my indicators with what they're used to using. So whatever works for you, that's the way you do it. Doesn't have to be 100% like I do it. If you know something that you like, pair it up with it. Over my 33 years, I probably loaded every indicator. Gave it a little run, deleted it if I didn't like it. Deleted many of my own that I didn't like. Nothing moving yet this morning. This is typical for Friday. It's more of a coffee morning, in my opinion. Sometimes we get lucky on Friday, sometimes we don't. Just have to be patient. It's kind of boring at times, but sometimes boring pays off really good. You just sit here and wait. Next chance of making money should be in the next minute at the 7 o'clock hour. Hopefully somebody will put out some good news and one of these stocks will take off. If that does happen, you'll see a stock jump up here to the top, and this number will really be ticking away. And we'll watch it on the chart. I'll draw support and resistance levels, see if we get a play on it. It is now 7 o'clock. You'll see it come alive up here. Sometimes it takes a couple minutes. Not seeing any changes in the percents. Here's a dollar stock, took off. One candle, no way to judge it. It is bullish. Does have buyers. Does have overall buyers, but there's no way to judge it. Percentages have disappeared. Now it's bearish. May get a pullback on it. I'm just going to, for wishful thinking, I'm going to put my support and resistance levels on it. Don't know if I would trust it, but it may be a good one. It may be a runner. You never know. As soon as this candle closes, I will put the bottom line in, which would be a support level. That candle did close. Let's see if we get a breakthrough up here. It's definitely trying. There we go. Let's see what happens. We did get a breakthrough. We did get a run up. There was a nice little pullback on a stock that you couldn't really predict. About a 10-cent gainer. And that's providing you could have got in at support. It may be a nickel. Just depends on your entry and your exit. Good morning, Jim. I'm looking over at PXMD. I'm not seeing any spikes whatsoever. This one is still going. This was a nice pullback for not having much data to judge it by. That's how these pullbacks work. Nice gains. I have no idea why this stock is moving up. All I watch is numbers. Watch for them to take off, put in the resistance and the support levels, and wait for the bounces. So what you see happening here is this stock took off, and then it pulled back. Then other people find it. They say, what's going on here? So these guys start taking profit, and then the other people find it, and then it runs up. That's because you get the first notice on these stocks. As soon as they take off, it's going to be here in this column. Then we wait on a pullback. We let that red candle close, and we wait to see the other buyers come in that are noticing this stock is moving. Good job, Who Loves Lunatic. Still going on this stock. This is what you need to learn. You need to learn these pullbacks. They pay off quite often. Just don't be anxious to jump in right here at support. Wait to see if the buyers come in and then jump in. That's the safest way to do it. It is having a battle. Probably not much more there, but it was about, what, 20 cents? Yeah, you could have got 20 cents easy out of it, because it's about 40 cents. That's a good example of what we do every morning. We wait on a stock to take off, and we're first to know about it. Then we check it out, and we check the volume, make sure it's really pumping, and it was. And we wait for this first candle to top out, and we put a resistance level up there. We wait on a pullback. When this red candle closes, we mark support. Then we wait for the buyers to come back in. It's that simple. You do that over and over and over, and you become profitable. Didn't last long, but you had plenty of time to get out. I hardly ever read news. I hardly ever go search for news. I just watch numbers. You've heard me say that over and over. I don't really care what the news is. I care what the buyers and sellers are doing. It's kind of weird the way I work this system, but you do it for so many years and you realize what's more important. And to me, buyers and sellers are what are important. Jim, sometimes we get a second run, but it needs to be trending up, not selling off this much. If we were to get just one more red candle here, yes, you could have marked another level and another pullback and wait for it to turn green and run up again. We have had several instances where we had 3 or 4 pullbacks in one stock. So it can happen. Doesn't normally happen on these penny stocks. It's kind of hard to judge them. We don't know if they're pumping them or dumping them or what they're doing. Fortunately, this one had news. And it looks like everybody thought it was good news until these people came in. Sometimes bad news makes it go up too. I haven't figured that out. Maybe it's not as bad as they thought it was going to be. Well, it had news come out. That's what sparked it. I guess it had news come out. I didn't look. I'm currently just watching this column. That's all I'm doing. Like this one is moving here. If I can click on it and it quit jumping out from under me. We played this stock previously. It's already got a resistance level here. It's breaking through it. This would not be a pullback. This is a sell-off, and then all of a sudden the buyers came back in. That's unpredictable. The next play on this stock would be to wait for this price to turn around and come back down here and retest 95 before the next run up to $1.12. Chasing it, I do not recommend. These candle wicks on the top, if you're not familiar with them, these are sellers driving the price back down. We like to see wicks on the bottom for the buyers driving it back up. This is the reverse of that, so it's very weak at the moment. Wicks on the bottom, not on the top. Good morning, Akachi. Good morning, King. So Andy, it's fair. This would be resistance here. But once it breaks through and comes back down, it becomes support, and the next level up becomes resistance. So if it doesn't break back down through here, there is a chance it could bounce up to the next level. You have to mark them every time the stock price reverses. That's how you keep track of them. I don't play back here. I do like to see if I'm going to mark a support or resistance level, I do like to look back and see that it's touched in that area before and resisted it or supported it. So we did not break down below it. This could be support. It could run up to this next level. Good morning, Eric, WM, Melanie, Lance. Slow volume, but it does have volume coming in. We do have buyers. We do not have a spike, so it's not strong volume. Still struggling to come up off of support. Andy, sometimes it does not come down and touch support. It'll get close sometimes and then take off. It's still trying to get back up here to the $1.12. So this is a support level. Greg, I've been watching it. I want to see it pull back much more than where it's going now. It's been playing around in the $9 range for a couple of weeks. I could have played it several times. I didn't. I like to wait for it to really sell off and hit it as hard as I can. I've gained as much as $3 or $4 on the run up when I wait on them to pull back that far. Good morning, Peter. Good job, Greg. So this one's struggling to get up. Even if you would have gotten in here, you could cut your losses really quick. Still hasn't broke through, but you could get out with minimal loss if you trade these pullbacks. Don't know that I would chance it since it's this many candles away from the initial breakthrough. It should have ran up on one of these two candles here. So the buyers just aren't there. It's Friday, that's why. I'm watching SGD run again. Very unpredictable. No, I won't click the mouse button this time. Way to play it now would be wait for it to turn around, reverse, and test 765 as support. It is testing 765. I'm watching this volume here as well. This morning it has a lot lower volume than it did yesterday. Low volume makes it harder to predict. Because anybody could be sitting on 10 or 20,000 shares and ready to sell, and we only had 30,000 shares on that last candle. So very risky play here. It's definitely trying. Still low volume. Did get 51,000 shares on that last candle. There's a support level, a resistance level at 833. So this isn't the greatest pullback, but it was a retest of that price level before the next run up. We did get the cross over here, but we didn't get the volume spike over here until about up here somewhere. These must have been low volume candles. Did not make it up to 833, may pull back down and retest 765 again. That shows weakness. Good morning, Jimmy. Robert, there will be a video. I probably need to work on that shortly after this live stream so I can try to get one off of live data in case on demand doesn't work over the weekend. I don't want anything to hold me up. So you can see this new indicator. This is a visual of the buyers and the sellers and the overall volume. This is the entire volume right here. And this is visually looking at that volume. This is confirmation the buyers were coming in. So the buyer volume outnumbered the seller volume. And if these indicators are going up, that means the volume is increasing, not necessarily meaning the price is going up. These volume could pick up, but the sellers could be right along with the buyers and the stock never move. Looks like the sellers are trying to take over now. If this red line crosses the green one, they'll pull the price back down. King, it's not released yet. I've been testing it all week. It'll be released between noon and 2 o'clock on Sunday. Reason I called it Dominator is because I want to know which buyers or sellers is dominating this stock. In this case, the buyers were dominating, and they're still dominating. Thank you, Robert. I don't know how I do it. It's a blessing from above. Here's a real cheap stock moving up. Has some volume, not a whole lot. I think each one of these indicators has lots of value to it. They all perform fantastic. See how that works? I saw it pop up here first, and now it takes off. Once you get used to these indicators, you may be the one that can play these green candles. I've lost so much money at them, I have no faith in chasing them anymore. I'll stick to the pullback, but you may be braver than me. I don't suggest it at all. That's what could happen if you clicked it up here. You just lost a lot of money. I'm a good example of that, Robert Pro. I did it this morning. I chased a green candle and lost 280. I should have waited on my own system. I know. I took a chance. It's what happens when you try to make money. You can't force the play, and I'm guilty of that this morning. I took a long shot at it. I can afford the loss. I don't like the loss, but it didn't hurt me none. Yeah, you have to really be patient. Let the play set up, and I'll preach that to myself. Let the play set up before you click the button. I walk you through it every morning on what to do, and this morning I didn't follow it myself, so stupidity on my part. It's all right. Also let you know I don't win every trade. Nobody does. That's it, Roth. You got to know when to strike. See you later, Dana. Have a blessed weekend. I have an image of this scan in TOS scans. You can compare your settings to mine. You also have to have this momentum indicator. Right click on the name once it's installed, edit formula, make sure that this extended hours box is checked. Then click on the Momo name until the list comes up to the top. Once you do those settings, you should never have to change it again. Thank you, King. You have to always remember there's a 3 to 5 minute delay on scan refresh. Once it refreshes, we're still monitoring them live. But every 3 to 5 minutes, this scan will refresh, and yours may not refresh at the same time as mine, or mine might not refresh at the same time as yours. So there is an instance where we do not have the same stocks. It's not the scripts not working, it's the refresh rate on the scans. You cannot adjust the refresh rate on the scans. That's the ThinkorSwim company or Charles Schwab that controls that side. It's never bothered me, and I've been on ThinkorSwim for 30 years. I've never even cared about it. I mean, I'm sure I miss a few stocks, but I get the majority of them. I mean, what do you want for free? They're not charging you anything. I'm not charging you anything. I think it's the best free money maker out there, really. Lance, you join our Discord, and the files are over on Discord. If you watch the how-to videos, video number 8, there's a link to the Discord. After you watch video number 8, it'll pretty much walk you through what you need to do. Then you head over to current setup to load these 4 files. Broke Joe, if I practice what I preach, not like this morning, I'm always on the pullback strategy. You can play support and resistance throughout the day, but they're not as strong as that first initial run up for that stock. It's harder to play on just average volume. What we really need for it to perform perfect is unusual volume. So during the day, trying to do this with average volume, you may have slightly harder chance of making a profit. Especially in this market, it seems to go flat after 9 o'clock. And that would be 9 o'clock Central Time. When it's running flat, it's hard to do any support and resistance or pullbacks when the volume is like 20,000 or 30,000 per share. So unusual volume plays a key role, and this volume spike would be the unusual volume. Robert, you can always hit this little magnifying glass down here at the bottom. This one increases it, this one decreases it. There is no auto. John, mine probably didn't refresh when yours did. That's what I was mentioning earlier. Sometimes y'all have stocks that I don't have. Sometimes I have stocks you don't have. And that's due to the refresh time. King, if you go to current setup, it's step number 3. I believe it's just called volume spike. To get this set up, load all 4 steps in current setup, and you'll have everything you see on your screen. It won't be broken up like this. I have 4 different windows running here just for live stream purposes. There's also a video on this setup. It's called multiple monitors. Not looking so good at the moment. Enjoy your coffee as we wait on this column to take off. Robert, I'm not currently shorting stocks, but I do short them on occasion. The only reason I'm not shorting now is this market's been devastating, and I kind of feel like I'm driving these companies deeper. I just have that guilty feeling. A lot of people say, well, that's when you're supposed to short. Well, it probably is, but I prefer the economy to be a little bit better before I help them make it worse. So if you owned a company that was corporate and you had a stock symbol, would you like people driving your company down in the dirt? See, homie, let me get you a new link and you can try it. Hold on 1 second. Try this link and see if it works for you. If not, it's going to be an issue on your side, not mine. See you later, Jimmy. Have a blessed day. Roth, you'll have to find a video on shorting stocks. I don't have one. There's many factors behind it. But they're basically borrowing shares, guessing that the price is going to go down. And however many shares they short, and if many people are shorting, it drives the price down. But it's much deeper than that. You'll just have to find a video on it. I'm sure there's thousands. All right, Jimmy. Roth, it's kind of like when we have a lot of buyers, the stock price goes up. When we have a lot of sellers or shorters, the stock price goes down. So depending on which side dominates is the direction the price of the stock will move. It's back to the volume thing. Are the sellers outnumbering the buyers, or are the buyers outnumbering the sellers? And sometimes it's not necessarily short sellers. It could just be sellers taking their profits. SGBX, number 3 on the list, just floating along, channeling sideways. Back road bound, only one. Cheaper penny stock. Nothing really promising this morning. That's correct, Roth. Pretty sure you have to have a margin account to short stocks. You can't just short them on a cash account. Unless you have enough money in your cash account to short them. Still waiting on one to run here. It's not usually likely around the 8 o'clock hour. If you're new here at 8 o'clock, I will take a 10-minute break. Once I return at 8:25, we set up for market open. The way pre-market's looking, I'm not expecting much to happen on market open. I actually don't know the rules anymore. I've been trading for so long and I have enough money in my account. I haven't refreshed my brain as far as what you can and can't do with the amount of money you have. I probably need to educate myself on that so when these questions come up, I can answer them. Jim, watch the video number 8 and how-to videos. It'll walk you through what you need to do. Try not to get in too deep with support here. I'll answer the simple questions, but I don't have time to walk you through a complete setup. But video number 8 will help you get it done. Double dare you. You can click the $ below the chat box where you type in and click super chat. And you can contribute that way as well. All videos are on Discord in how-to videos. Each room on Discord, each channel on Discord is actually a room with different activities. I have scans, scripts, and current setup, and how-to videos. If you have trouble, you can leave a question in support. If I can't get to you, we have very nice people on board. They will answer your questions if they have an answer for you. I get pretty busy sometimes, and I really appreciate all the help that we get. We all try to help each other when we can. Sometimes you may ask a question in a room and nobody replies. It's probably because they're trading and they don't really have time, so it's best to post them in support. Thank you, Rob, for that comment. I feel really fortunate to be able to train everyone. I really like that. Nothing currently happening. At 8 o'clock, I'm going to go refresh my drink. Thank you, Double Dare You. Really appreciate all of the help. I don't like Fridays. I know what to expect every Friday. It's like the boringest trading day of the week. So I'm sorry I can't put on a great show for you this morning, but it is Friday. There are profit takers on Fridays. Everybody going back to cash before the weekend. Occasionally we'll get some good runners, but it's rare. We didn't have such a bad week. We did get 4 or 5 trades in. I'm green, but I'm not real green because of this morning. So if you're new here, you might want to consider joining if you haven't. We are a profitable system, a profitable community. Some of us do make mistakes, so some of us might not be so profitable, but I bet the majority are. Roth, if you look over in Discord, it says voluntary contributions. It's one of the channels on the left. Click on voluntary contributions, and the Patreon link will pop up. Everything here is voluntary. It's not mandatory. But every little bit helps. If you can, then we gratefully appreciate it. We do have bills to keep this rolling, and lots of time I have to put forward. But we need some stocks right here in this column. Thank you, my Flash. Very much appreciated. And I can assure you, you're going to earn it way more than what you're contributing. It's been proven over and over and over. You just need to participate in these live streams. Trade with us and have coffee every morning. It's worth it. Thank you, GMAC. Welcome home is what I like to say. And if you didn't know, let me see what the count is. So over in YouTube, we have 3,062 subscribers to the YouTube channel. Over in Discord, we have 2,016. We broke that 2,000 level last night. We're getting about 30 to 40 a day signing up. That's without advertisement. That's without spending money to promote the channel. It's all generic traffic, people finding the videos. King, yes, I stop streaming at 9:30 every morning. I'm hoping we're all done by the time pre-market closes, but we need a market to do it. That day's coming quick. I want to be done at 8:30. Trade from 6 a.m. to 8:30, be done, and have the rest of the day off. You will see that happen. I promise you, we just need a better market, and it's coming soon. I'm looking at LAES, no volume. You got to pay attention to this current volume bar. If there's not a lot of people coming in, you're not going to get a good play. Had a great sell-off from the run-up. You're probably just going to see a bounce here. You can see this indicator starting to track it now. You can see the sellers are declining and the buyers, they're not really increasing. But if it's going to go, this would be the point it starts to go up. Now the buyers are pulling back. So it's just going to do the lower high, in my opinion. Doesn't have enough steady volume to make a difference. Robert, are you talking about the new indicator? It has to have a background. So if I wasn't on this stock previously, it did not track all of this. So since I clicked on it, it grabbed what data that was available. But it's actually live data. We're only watching the very beginning down here, this first initial area. This is going to be live right here, and this is what happened, but this end of it is live. So we can see the sellers are declining, and so are the buyers. Down here is low volume, up here is high volume. So you can have high volume sellers, so don't take these as direction for the price. It does work in pre-market. Even when the volume dies, let's just say it's just barely has volume and it's just channeling sideways, it'll black out down here because it can't track it. It doesn't know what it's trying to do. Then once the volume takes off, it'll kick back in and start tracking again. Walter, it's not cumulative. It is actually live. This is a live indicator. This is a live indicator as well, except this one is looking back 30 minutes. But everything up here is relying on live data. Now this indicator down here is cumulative. But we're only watching the very end of it. This one tells you the story right here on the end. EDBL, very cheap stock. Big green candle, two red ones. For extra trades, it doesn't come out until Sunday around between 12 and 2. I have not released it, been watching it all week. You can see we have no data because this stock did absolutely nothing up to this point. So we have no data down here for it to fire up. It has a look back period, so that's why it's not posting. I'm watching the 50-minute Momo scanner. I'm watching LAES took off on the 50-minute scanner. That was released last week. So the 50-minute is similar to this 30-minute. It's just looking a little bit further back. '50 minutes, what we watch during the day. anything's moving, it'll pop up on that 50-minute. It'll track quite a few stocks for you throughout the day. We'll be using that 50-minute scanner when we get close to market open. And I missed my break. I'm going to take a break here real quick, and I shall return in about 10 minutes. All right, I am back. Good morning, Scott. Martin. SGBX making a small move here. I missed it being on break. It's fine, no big gain, 4 cents from the bottom to the top, no loss there. It is moving though. Might get a dime or a nickel if you played it. Nice volume coming in. You watch that current bar, you can see it's flying. You can see the sellers coming in right down here. You see this line's moving up. You'll have to learn how to use this. You have to watch it closely to see what it's doing. Now the sellers are slacking off and the buyers are coming in. That's why it went back up a bit here with this long wick on the bottom. Not looking too good though. I don't like stocks that try to run up just before market open because they're really risky. I don't trade around 8 o'clock hour. And I don't trade at market open. I wait for the market to settle down for 5 or 10 minutes, however long it takes. Whatever's left over, if there's something strong, I will play it throughout the morning. Probably not so much today, it's being Friday. Fridays are risky. So we have nothing in earnings. I'm going to go ahead and put the high flyers over here on this one. So this scan here is looking for stocks that the moving averages are stacked in the proper order. And when I say that, I mean the 5 is above the 13 is above the 34, and the price is above the 5 and rising. That's what this scan is going to find. It's going to be lower volume stocks, but these are trending up stocks. You can play them throughout the day. I mainly watch this first column throughout the day. That's where the most explosive stock will show up. I'll watch the Momo indicator, and I'll watch the volume spike for anything to pop up during normal trading hours. Robert, yeah, I'm guilty of that, but most of the time, no. So, and the reason I say that is I played the stock Redbox before it stopped trading. I watched that stock drop like $4 or $5, and I bought the bottom of that red candle, and lucky for me, it bounced up 3 or 4. So yeah, I take chances as well. I'm guilty. But it all depends on the circumstances. Scott, no sir, I'll be bringing it up here in a few minutes. It's called the 50-minute momentum scanner. I watch multiple scans. I watch almost 11 scans that always have worked for me. I'm running multiple monitors, so I don't have to keep changing scans. I just look around and see where the triggers are. And when I say triggers, I mean volume spikes. Favorite. No, never looked at it that way before. I'm going to say it's going to be a battle between this high flyers and the 50-minute momentum scanner. But I do have scans like where the price crosses above the 34 EMA. That's a good scan. I play it quite often. The 34 EMA is a very respected zone. Good morning, George. So we'll be having my two favorites up here. It'll be this one, and it'll be this one. I have a slow crawler scan that's really good. They're low volume stocks that continue to rise. There is not a scan that watches news. I don't have access to that kind of data. So if I told you 1 minute, that's what I mostly trade on, but I'm watching the 1 minute, the 5 minute, the 15 minute, and I'm also watching a tick chart at 133T. The tick chart is where I want to enter and exit off of. The 1 minute, 5 minute, and 15 minute just give me confirmation that it is moving in the direction over a longer period of time than 1 minute. David, I have no idea, but I'll pull the scan settings up and show them to you real quick. I haven't changed anything in the code, I don't believe. You should see a 5 here. But it's just $1 to any high price. This is my minimum price, 500,000 on the volume. I don't think I've changed anything in the code. No, the code is the same. It's not changed. So that's the settings on the high flyer. This has been the same since I created it. Other than that, I don't know why it would not be working for you. Could be the EXT. It is checked. Whenever I upload a scan, it unchecks that. It doesn't keep custom settings when I share a link. It's in scan settings. You click scan and then click the scan tab, then click the middle of the three bars, then load scan query, then personal, and then go down to the high flyers and it'll bring up the settings. So scan tab, the middle of the three bars on the right, load scan query, personal, look for high flyers. All right, let's get set up here. I'm going to put the 50-minute momentum scanner up here. We already have the high flyers here. I'm going to leave the all stocks here, I believe. Yeah, I think that's all we need to watch for this morning. Not expecting much to happen this morning. Everything I'm watching is going to be sorted by Momo. You just click the name until they come to the top. Jim, I have 4 27-inch monitors plus a laptop monitor. It's getting close to Christmas. You wait on Christmas sales, you can probably pick up a monitor for $99. They don't have to be real high resolution. You're only looking at ThinkorSwim. It's not like you're watching videos or nothing. So at market open, be very careful. This volume spike column is going to get very busy. You won't be able to tell heads from tails. It's always best to play these top 3 or 4. Don't chase green candles like I did this morning. I'll be marking out the pullback, but I can only do it one stock at a time. If you see something different, definitely trade what you see. I've never tried a TV. I heard the resolution is not as high as a computer monitor, so it may be kind of fixated on you. But I've never tried it. I can't give you an honest answer. Good morning, Obispo. I do highly suggest if you're going to run multiple monitors that you get a hub to run them off of. Your computer plugs into the hub. The hub also has a processor in it. You plug all the monitors in the processor into the hub, and the processor helps push the data to those monitors. The hub's probably going to be your most expensive purchase. It's around $550 to $600, but it's well worth it. It keeps the cables from getting overheated when you try to feed that many monitors through a laptop. Scott, I'm sorry, I must have missed your question. Let me scroll back. Scott, I often do one-on-one. If someone likes what they see and they're interested in it and they want more detail. So I don't hold seminars or anything like that. These live sessions that I do every morning should be enough to get you going. If you keep attending them, you catch on very quickly. My time's kind of limited. I also own a construction company when I'm trying to do live streaming and I'm trying to do coding. So seminar time is almost out of the question. Send me a direct message in Discord, and next week I'll get back to you and let you know when you're available or not. And good luck as we trade. I'm watching the volume spike column. I'm probably not going to trade this morning. SGBX is pulling up. I did not click on it. It was already there. I'm not seeing it in this list. It's in my all stocks list. So these top stocks are the ones you're going to want to watch. There's a 27 here, but the numbers are barely changing. It did work its way up one or two. We'll see what it looks like. It's just a green candle. It's not increasing. I'm looking at the SPY as well on a 5-minute chart. The SPY is pulling back. So we have a bad Friday and we have a SPY pulling back. PAGS, no big spike on it, but it is rising slowly. It's a $9 stock. Now made it to position number 3. Well, it was at 2. It dropped down to 3. So you can see PAGS is number 1 down here in the high flyers. So it may continue its path. You have to play these stocks totally different than a pullback. You're not going to get much of a pullback out of them. Most of them have a little red candle and then continue on, and another little red candle and continue on. You'll have to set up a strategy for this scanner. Man, that's weak volume. The volume's already dying this morning. We should have another wave of volume coming in. Not too promising of a start. The SPY is falling quite hard. KOD barely creeping up on some short candles with low volume. SPY is continuing to drop. Don't be too excited to buy into anything. It is Friday. The SPY is dropping. We have low percentage numbers, nothing really high. Good morning, James L. Watching the percentages up here, waiting kind of on the market to calm down a little bit, see if there's anything left over. We'll know in about 10 minutes. It'll go flat if there's nothing strong. The SPY is continuing to fall. You can see these stocks and high flyers, no matter which one I click on, they're kind of setting up a trend. So you have to see what strategy works best for you on high flyers. You'll probably get an occasional pullback. Maybe a long length of time in between them. Usually it's just short red candles and then another continuation. Pick or go to your scan settings and make sure EXT is checked. I don't have time to walk you through it right now. I'm trying to make a trade if something out of the ordinary happens. OPTX. OPTX on all three scans near the top. So it must have been bad news on OPTX that wasn't so bad. I mean, we went from $6 to $7 on bad news. Maybe it was good news. It's number one in high flyers. This is what I'm talking about this scan. Then we'll get a slight red candle probably, and then another green one. Or it's Friday. You never know what's going to happen on Fridays. Now we're back to green. That's what I'm talking about, these little red candles. Looks like it's currently consolidating. Doesn't know which way to go. Volume is still ticking a little. It's not out of the ordinary. It's not unusual. Like I said earlier, low volume. The SPY is still falling. It's nothing but red candles. Probably going to drive everything down. Now we're back up. You could look at this as a pullback, probably, marking it here and here. I think Thanksgiving's going to have to be my cheat day. Not supposed to have a lot of foods until I get my condition straightened out. But he said I could cheat once a week. I guess I'm going to have to stick with it until Thanksgiving. That's a major sell-off on this stock. This is a Friday action here. Well, I don't like trading on Fridays. Get stung by a big red candle that comes out of nowhere. The SPY is falling and falling and falling. Let's take a look at it real quick so you can see what I'm looking at. SPY on a 5-minute chart. There it is. A lot of good stocks in this list. Entry is the issue. A lot of good stocks in this list as well. Closer we get to 9 o'clock, the more the volume's going to die. Keep that in mind. If you want to get a play in, you're going to have to do it soon. Is that SGD or SCD? See you later, Broke Joe. Have a blessed weekend. KOD crawling up slowly. Saw Disney pop up for a few seconds and then it disappeared really quick. OPTX trying to recover from that big red candle. Profit taker sitting in the background, so watch out on these risers. If it's moving up, there's going to be some sellers waiting to get out and take their profits for the weekend. So if you're not familiar with this 50-minute scan, we moved from a 30-minute look-back period to a 50-minute look-back period. So we have a lot more stocks in the list on the momentum side. You can see they go way down. You could probably actually start right down here and work your way up to maybe one that's down lower. Maybe find an entry down at the lower part of it. Brandon, if you're talking about the all stock scan, there is absolutely no code in that scan whatsoever. It's only a price range, and the volume is sorted by descending. That's very important. Volume descending in the scan settings. But it's only a price, no special codes. No volume profiles, no nothing, only a price. James, could you please remove the caps lock button, please? Make your fonts a little bit smaller. If you're unaware, it distracts my vision. I have very poor vision. Lots of red coming into the volume spike area. SPY has not recovered. It's still down at the bottom. Volume is dying off. You can see the volume spike is blank. Brave, ThinkorSwim does not have a halt warning. It doesn't monitor halts at all. Only way we can tell is if the stock stops trading. I usually use the 10% rule. So if a stock is at $1 and it's going to go up to $1.10 and halt, then I know I need to be out at $1.09 or $1.08. It's a $10 stock. I know I need to be out before it gains $1 to beat the halt. The SPY is struggling this morning. Big tall wick on that short green candle. Thank you, James. Most of the stocks are probably going to start channeling or squeezing or consolidating, whatever you want to call it, or pulling back. If I come back down here to high flyers, let's see how these stocks are doing. So that one did trend up. VNet's consolidating. CRSP is consolidating. GPS is still rising slightly. ARDX probably going to start consolidating there. THC slightly running up. Look like Friday stocks, an initial run up and then start consolidating. Pan W looks good. There's them short red candles I always talk about. Bunch of bouncers this morning. I see y'all calling them out, but are they worth buying is the question. OPTX, it had that big red candle earlier. It's trying to recover. It's almost there. Now it is. SPY slightly bouncing upwards. I don't know if that's a bottom, so I'm not going to say it's coming off the bottom. They may go down further. Who knows? Looks like we're in that consolidation phase now. They're probably going to start doing the same thing the SPY is, slightly pulling back. There's no winners to hang on to this morning. There's nothing up here that's really pumping the volume up. It's a typical Friday. A lot of people stay clear of the market, take profits. Wait for stocks to bounce up at open so they can clear their table back to cash. Yeah, CRSP as well. Just consolidating over. Volume's dying off. About 5 minutes to 9, about the same time every day. I'll pull up CSIQ just to take a look. Looks like the SPY. I think at this point we need to start concentrate on high flyers and make sure, see if something pops up here. If it pops up here though, it'll probably pop up here as well. These two are pretty close. This one though, the moving averages are stacked. This one is just average. Are they moving or not? See you later, Raphael. Have a blessed weekend. OPTX been bouncing around since that big red candle. That was devastating if he were holding it. It was a 60-cent drop. GPS still trending up. It's over in the high flyers. And on the 50-minute. Thank you, Rodrigo. Glad I could help you. You have a blessed weekend, Rodrigo. Good job, James. Hope you made a ton. Thank you, Flo, for that contribution. I think it's going to be a volume spike that we have to wait on to really see what's happening. It's Friday. I'm not expecting much at all. We did have some stocks run up at the start. You'd have had to chase green candles to get in. The SPY is kind of falling again. Brandon, maybe your scans refresh to before mine. It may eventually pop up on mine. And if it's underneath, if it started under 25 cents or maybe $1, let's see. Let me see what I have my scan set at. So you're on all stocks. So mine is starts at a 25-cent minimum. If Saito started below that, let me check it out. Yeah, see, it started below my 25-cent minimum, so it's not going to show up on my scan unless I was set to below this price here. So that's why it's not showing up on mine. It may show up later. But I try not to trade anything under a couple of bucks a share. So your scan's probably right. I just don't have the same price range you do. MY, are you sorted by Momo? Got to click this Momo. And once again, my scans may not have refreshed the same time yours did. So we will show different stocks. You're welcome, Brave. This momentum score really helps on any of the scans. It's watching the stocks for you and telling you which ones are moving the most. So it gives them a score depending on how strong they are. You can see these two scans are pretty good at watching what's going on, and they're totally programmed different. This one is nothing compared to this one. They're two different scripts, but they're both doing what they're supposed to do. This one is looking for moving averages that are stacked. This one is actually looking for just stocks that are moving off of this column here. Nothing to do with moving averages here. See you later, MY. You have a blessed weekend. Frank, that 9 o'clock's been the dead hour for months. We need volume to come back into the market. A lot of traders sitting on their hands, and shot is looking good here. Not gaining much. It's only pennies, but it is promising looking. It is bullish in all areas on the spike, on the candle. It's bullish here on the overall volume. It's bullish here on this new indicator. You can see the buyers. You can see the sellers are hanging out down here. When this red line starts rising, that's when that price is going to drop. Thank you, James. SPY is still coming down a little bit. It made a little bounce on the bottom, but now coming back down to the bottom. You can see how long these stocks stay in this high flyer scan. SKIN. I've seen many large caps this morning pop in. Guess the SPY is dragging them down. You're welcome, JC. If you're leaving, have a blessed weekend. Thank you, James. I took a small hit this morning out of stupidity. I just felt like I wanted to take a chance, and it cost me, and that's me trying to make a play instead of waiting on a play. Need to practice what I preach. Never pays off well when you force a play, or when you chase a green candle like I did this morning. It was, Gregor. I chased it when it popped, and I shouldn't have. I sit here and do pullbacks every morning and watch them work, and I didn't wait on a pullback. I'll make it up. It's no big loss for me. Just wait on the next one. You know, we used to cook Thanksgiving here back then it was Mom and Dad's house. It's kind of like all the kids saying, let's go eat Mom's food. It's the best. But now my son has taken over that holiday. My wife enjoys it. She don't have to do much cleanup at our house. But we keep the tradition going and be thankful. Good job, Picker. You figured it out. Picker, every now and then, ThinkorSwim does have a corrupt file every now and then. I've actually had a whole watch list just disappear, and it was my personal watch list. Turned it off one day, got started for live stream the next morning, it was gone. Strange things been happening lately. SOUN got a little bump up here. Don't know if I would do anything this morning. It's not a promising market day. Don't let these little bump ups tempt you like it tempted me this morning. I think they'll eventually get the bugs out. I think they're going to drop their platform. They'll be 100% on ThinkorSwim. They have to keep it going. They have to learn how to run the whole system too. You got to keep that in mind. They acquired it. I really think they'll get it together because ThinkorSwim really, to me, is a good platform. It's easily programmable once you learn the language. Trading pennies, you got that right. It doesn't offer float. They call it shares, but the shares are not even close to the actual float when you go compare it to another service. I mean, they're within range. Like you may see 10 million share float in ThinkorSwim, but you'll see 7 somewhere else. WM, when we say platform, we're just talking about the ThinkorSwim software in general. PANW must be a penny stock. No, it's an expensive stock. I wouldn't call that a tear. I would call it a pullback and a slight increase. Thank you, Trading Pennies. It's greatly appreciated. So in about 10 minutes, I'll be pulling out of here. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do. Like the videos, comment on the videos, let YouTube know exactly what I got going on over here. It also lets me know if you like the videos by your comments. There's a link to the YouTube channel. In the description, you'll find a link to the Discord, or I'll go ahead and post it here as well. Join our Discord. Watch the how-to videos first when you get there. If you don't know how to install the scripts, labels, indicators, it'll help you out right from the start. Here's a link to the Discord. Come join all the other investors. You can load up the software there as well. I have lots of scans. Lots of older indicators, but to get to current indicators, they're located in, of course, current setup. I appreciate every one of you who joined this morning. Too bad it's Friday. But we'll continue on Monday, which is just as bad as Friday. But sometimes Monday can be good. So we're gonna still be here Monday through Fridays. Tuesday through Thursday are my best days to trade. They always have been. And thank you, David, for that contribution. I'll be here about 9 more minutes and then I'll be signing off, but I really enjoy doing this for you guys. I hope you're enjoying it as well. We all learn something here. Even when I'm telling you, I'm refreshing my own brain. It keeps me educated as well. That's the best part of sharing information and knowledge with other investors, is you all get to learn together. It brings joy to my heart to be able to help other people out. That's why I'm doing this for free. I'm kind of paying it forward, and I expect everyone that joins us, once they learn, you pay it forward as well. Let's help more people out. Let's show them that trading is not as hard as they think it is, but sometimes it can be, so we won't lie totally. But we do make it a little bit easier with these indicators. And thank you very much for joining and for the donations. Everything's going towards the platform. I need to get things upgraded. If you don't know, my health's not in too good a condition. I have a observation on the 20th. I guess I'll find out on that day what they're going to do. But the Lord's on my side. I'll leave it in His hands. I think I'll be fine. Once again, I'm like an old car that needs new parts. I'll get through it. Yeah, we'll have a short week next week on Thanksgiving. And really nothing's going to probably happen that week. Everybody's going to maybe have one good day, if I'm recalling back from past years. Trading pennies, I got this. Not my first rodeo. That's something a Texan would say. Thank you very much. You're welcome, Roth. Yeah, Michael, you got to hear these things every now and then. It's tradition. Very welcome to all of you. I am. I'm going to pig out. I'll put on 10 pounds on Thanksgiving. Not really. I don't eat a whole lot. I don't think it was actually my food that caused anything. I think it's just genetics. Even the doctor said, well, I'll tell you your diet, but you probably won't follow it because I don't follow it. And I said, well, that's not good. He said, well, it's true. Nobody follows it. They try to, but it's like dieting. You can't stick with it. But I'm giving it hell. I'm trying my best not to do the salt, and food has never tasted so bland. I don't know what's next. That's the whole thing. I don't know. You know, I'm 67, but I feel like I'm 40. That's how good I feel. And everybody says you don't look 67, you look 50. And so that's a compliment. It's just my time, you know, too many miles on this old car. Just remember this one thing, you probably heard it before when you were younger. You hear old people telling you, you shouldn't be doing that. And we always just shrugged it off. And it's going to come true to you one day. You're going to feel everything you ever did to yourself. Thank you, Double Dare. All right, guys, I really enjoyed this morning's session. Even though I took a little loss, some of you made a few pennies. I think somebody bought some coffee. Not a whole lot of gains today, but the session itself was good. I enjoy it. So everyone have a blessed weekend. Thanks for all the contributions. Thanks to all the Patreon subscribers. We appreciate the effort keeping this channel going. We do need some upgrades. We'll get there soon. And as always, have a blessed weekend. I'm out of here.